for the ultimate source of inspiration, knowledge, and entertainment, look no further. Network Kingdom is a unique platform that brings together experts from various industries. Through networking and collaboration, we create inspiring conversations that educate, entertain, and motivate our listeners. Whether you're a business professional, an entrepreneur, or simply someone looking to grow their knowledge base.
Hello everyone, it's yet another Wednesday. And I know I always say I'm excited, but trust me, I'm excited today. And you'll know exactly why shortly. I have none other than this powerhouse, full of energy, Forbes Riley. Forbes, it's so nice to have you.
Hello, my baby. How are you? All the way in Nigeria. I've not been yet, but I did live in Kenya for a while. Jambo bwana, habari gani, mizuri sana. How many people in the US speak Swahili? Come on, seriously?
One, and that's
I know there's more than one, but I loved it. The feeling in Africa is unlike anything else. And I'm sure East and West, like the US, is very, very different feeling. Yes?
but generally full of life. It's
Well,
so
you know,
nice
it's
to
full of
have.
life. Thank you. It's just what I like about it too. It smells different over there. The food is different over there, and sadly, most Americans don't really understand. Most Americans never travel; they don't know anything. All right, so let's have some fun.
Yes, how are you doing today? And it's all about fun because that's what Forbes is about, just fun.
It is
Um,
definitely about the F word: fun, fantastic, fitness, fashion, face.
Forbes.
Works for me. Yes. So and it's funny. What I'm working on right now, though, is I have a big women's summit coming up. I'm very excited about this. It is global, and it comes from South Africa, believe it or not. This is what that looks like for all of your audience, so they can see this upcoming beautiful event. There's me. I don't know if you know.
I already signed on, and it's an amazing. I've been on several events and several of their events, and it's amazing. Trust me.
Yeah, we're going to have a great time, and I'm looking forward to that at the end of this month. And then for me, I'm launching a new course. I teach pitching. That's what I love to teach, the verbal art of communication. You pitched me to be on your podcast. I'm sure you've pitched some people who might not want to be on it, or they love to be on it. But everything that you do in life, for everyone listening, is a pitch. From the minute you wake up in the morning, honey, would you rub my neck? Yes. Oh, that's a pitch. I got a yes. Every time you get a yes. So, Omu, how would you describe the word pitch in your experience?
You know, just what you just said, I was going to say, you know, I don't know how to pitch and I find it difficult to pitch. And then you said you just pitched me for your podcast. And
Yeah,
that was like, oh, that was what I did. I didn't realize.
Well, because people think that pitch is this thing that you have to do. Hi, I have a product. I would like you to buy my product. This is what I do, blah, 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 blah. Baby, I already pitched you to come to my women's summit. I already pitched you. You said yes. We've already been pitching each other. I'm going to pitch to, you know, in my career, guys, I have grossed $2.5 billion in sales. I've pitched on live home shopping around the world and on infomercials. I've done 195 of them. It's about the story, the communication. And if you feel like I'm talking to you, I am. And then if you say, well, Forbes, while you're talking to me, could you also pitch my fitness product? I don't go, okay, wait. Hi, I'm Forbes Riley, and I've got this product. I don't do that. I go, Omu, here's what I do. Lift up your arm. Put your arm up like this. Come on. And everybody out there, come on, let's go. Feel the back of your arm. Is it nice and tight, or is it a little wiggly jiggly? I'm sitting at my office, and I'm in my Zoom, and I'm doing this. And I'll tell you the way this thing spins, my arms are working, my abs are working. I can punch out some stress. And so let me ask you a question right now. Would you like one?
Look at how I'm staring. I'm
That's
actually
a pitch.
staring.
Right. Now, most people, what they would do is they wouldn't do that. They would say, I have this fitness product. I love this product. It's great. You need it. No one ever bought anything that they needed. They only buy what they want. And so I view the art of pitching as to excite you as the listener to want what I have. When you do that, you'll take out your credit card. You know, you are going to all the way to America. Did anyone have to pitch you to buy an airline ticket? No. But why did you choose one airline over the other? Do you know? Because they enrolled. Why? Because they enrolled you. They have a brand. They align with your values. They align with your cost structure. Some people don't want a discount airline. They want a private jet. So it's not always about the money. It is about serving what that person wants. And, you know, it's funny, Omu, this came from my dad. My dad was an inventor and a magician. Could have been a CEO, but he wasn't. Could have been George Clooney, but he wasn't. He was an inventor, and we were the goofy kids on the block because we had all these. I used to do magic tricks. I still do. I do love magic tricks. Here's what I learned. Number one, even with a magic trick or a pitch, one, begin with the end in mind. So watch this. I will find a little piece of paper. Okay. I have a piece of paper right here. Yes, nothing's written on it. My first magic trick, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to read Omu's mind. Omu, wait, I need a better pen. Think. What is she thinking? And I'm going to write this. Omu, I have a question for you. Would you like to see something cool?
Yes.
I knew exactly what you were going to say. How did I do it? That's a pitch.
Of course you made me want to say yes. You made me want to
that's
know
what we're talking about here. That's the magic of this. So you begin with the end in mind. I'm going to get a yes. I know that before I ask that question. And I will tell you that's one of the most amazing ways that you make sales is that you get people to say yes to you over and over again. People are too busy talking and yakking and going, here's my new book. Here's what it's about. Here's why I love it. Blah, 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 blah. I've got a book that says, look, if you have ever been in a situation where somebody asked you what you do and you stumbled a little bit, or you got a lot of no's and you felt kind of weird, the ABCs of pitching, step by step by step, all the secrets that I've learned to gross $2.5 billion. And then I stop talking. If you want it, great. If you don't, that's great. I'll move on. I don't care. Because when you've got something that you know is wonderful, you don't have to sell it to people. They will want it if you lay it out in the right way. And the end of this little piece is, people always say to me, oh, Forbes, you're so good. You could sell ice to Eskimos.
I agree.
But you know what, Omu? You know why I am so good? I would never sell ice to Eskimos. I would sell them firewood, blankets, and a big cozy coat. That's what they want. Because they don't want ice. And I know it's it's a little bit of a joke, but you that's the point.
But you're right. But you just said something that when you're selling something, you should have the end in mind, and also you should sell them what they need. Sometimes I think that what a lot of us struggle with is actually convincing ourselves that people need it or people want to.
Well, let's go back. Wait, let's go back. You don't have to convince yourself. Don't sell anything that you don't love.
Absolutely.
Then you don't have to struggle with anything. If you love it, other people will love it or should love it. Remember why you wanted it in the first place. So often I think people sell things they don't care about. So Omu, let me ask, here's the next part of this equation. If you're in a networking event, you're going to go out to Vegas, you're going to meet all these people, say, oh, nice to meet you. What do you do? What do you say?
I help people overcome their limiting beliefs and achieve success in life, whatever success means to them, with an aim to live their best lives.
Are you open to some coaching?
I'm attending the next pitching class. Don't worry, it's next week.
It is, and I will tell you something. Because of who I am, I hear pitches every day. 98% of them start with exactly what you did. You didn't do anything wrong. You just didn't do enough right. You said, I help. I didn't ask you who you help. I asked you what you do. And you told me about something, and then you talked after, like, I don't know what it is that you somehow help. I don't know what you do. Because you told me what you do. You didn't make it about me. I don't care what you do. I care what you can do for me. That's when somebody asks you, think about this.
People don't care what you know until they know that you care.
Yeah, but it is not even that weird. It's that they don't care at all what you do because congratulations. I'm a seamstress. I drive traffic. I'm working on. Who cares what you do? Well, then why did you ask me? Because I was being polite. Do you ever walk? What am I supposed to ask you? How much money do you make? Should I spend my time with you? Are you a worthwhile person? Have you ever cheated on your wife? Let's ask different questions. I don't really care what you do. I really want to know if you're a CEO and I want to talk to you. If you make pickles, I don't really care. Maybe I will want one pickle. So why am I asking you that question?
Because I haven't been cracked up like this in a while.
But that's it's funny. So when you're at an event, whose business cards do you take home? Somebody you can do business with, somebody you can have a relationship with, right? Absolutely. That's the point of it. I used to come home with a stack of business cards like this, and my assistants would go, "You're kidding me." I said, no. These are not cards. These are human beings that I spent time with who handed me a piece of paper so we could continue a relationship. You follow up because that's the biggest part of the equation. We make connections. Absolutely. Otherwise, I wasted my time. And I would get so many cards because we would excite each other. I would, because I had something they wanted, or they wanted to connect, or they wanted to up level. I don't have to sell you on pitch. I just have to show you that you're bad at it. If you're bad at it and I'm good at it, you want to pay me to make you better. It's like, this is really funny. Why does nobody do it this way? So what do you really do for a living? What do you really do? I'm just asking.
So I was going to ask a question, right? And not a question, it's also a comment. Now, your pitching class happens to be the only class I have attended, if I remember correctly, to be quite honest, off the top of my head, the only class I've attended that doesn't go at you from the angle of saying, what do you help them achieve? So I think that's how come the help is in my head. They always say, what do you help your clients? How do you help your clients? So that help always comes in. I help my clients with. So this angle actually is the first angle, and I'm sure most of the people listening would agree with me. They usually say, what do you help? What problem do you solve?
Well, what problem do you solve is much better. What do you help them do? I'm not interested in. But here's the next part of this. I have a formula. I have a thing called the UPF, the Ultimate Pitch Formula. Guys, I've sold $2.5 billion worth of products. Most of them I didn't own. I was a spokesperson for other people's products. That's the first mistake entrepreneurs make. You don't need to sell your own stuff. It's annoying. You have to write it. You have to create it. If I could sell somebody else's book, I wouldn't have had to write this one. Here, let me sell you his book, because his book is just fine. They don't think to do that. I have to have my own coaching course. No, you don't. You want to make money? Sell somebody else's. You want to make money? Join a network marketing company and learn to pitch whatever they have so you get better at pitching. Because the product is irrelevant. I don't care. I can pitch anything. I don't care what the product is. So if you work really hard on the product and you own it, it's like your own child. Oh, I have to protect my baby. She's so... No, I got a whole bunch of kids. And it's a different mentality. And I think that's why I come from the world that I do. I was a professional spokesperson pitcher. That's all I did. Now I come to create my own product, a little different. But here's the thing. Most people, when they start to pitch, change their voice, put on this thing. Now it is time to pitch. And so Absolutely. Tell me, what do you do? Why are you doing that? I'm right here. You're pitching me. And I'm looking at you. The first thing I'm going to do, my system has 5 steps. One of them is called assumptions. I'm going to look at you. I'm going to make some assumptions about you. Now, I could be wrong. You look like a woman to me. You look like a woman who's wearing glasses to me. You look like a woman of a certain age to me. You look like a woman of a certain stature. Your chair is pretty regal. I have that chair, by the way, and it's kind of funny, that same height. That's a pretty elegant chair. I'm looking at your background. She lives in a nice house. She's got some style and some plants that haven't died. All right. So I put all of those things together in my head before I'm talking. And you got some style. You're wearing a scarf. So I'm going to say this is a woman who either has money, has made some money, but certainly has style no matter what. She wears glasses that make her march to her own drummer. So she's a little out of the box thinker. Right? But all of these things are now, so when I go to talk to you about this, I'm not going to say to you, so when you're at the gym 5 hours a day, you really could, I don't think you go to the gym 5 hours a day. I think you go to the gym maybe a half hour, maybe an hour, maybe once, twice. Maybe you want to go more. I know, because you're a busy entrepreneur who's making a name for herself, and you probably beat yourself up that you don't go to the gym enough. And you want sexy arms, because when you take that off between your partner or the beach, you want to look like a rock star. Am I right about all of those things?
Absolutely.
Right. Well, that's part of the pitch game. So I'm going to talk to you a certain way. I'm going to talk to my husband, who's a professional bodybuilder, in a completely different way. So the pitch has to change dramatically for both of you to say yes to the same product. And so all those things that I just did are part of the class that I teach. I teach you how to take stock and how to understand. Guys, go back to the magic thing for a second. I've got a magic trick. You know what? Magic tricks are just tricks. They're stupid. Hey, look over here while I do this. I'm lying to you, professionally lying to you. Great training, by the way. And so if you go into a situation and you ever do a trick and it doesn't work, you screwed it up, the most embarrassing moment of your life. People are like, oh, that's so stupid. I'm like, most of you have never been that embarrassed, I promise you. And so what you learn as a magician is you learn how to talk, how to size up people, see if this right trick is right for her. Does she look like she's going to do, or if she looks too smart, I'm not going to do this. Most of you just talk. You don't even know who you're talking to or why you're talking.
And sometimes we have a standard pitch and we don't look. It's just them. You just give it out without.
Yes, yeah. I know. Yes, yes, and yes. It's crazy. It makes me crazy. It just makes me absolutely nuts. So why wouldn't you want to learn how to do that? I think pitching is an art. It's a skill. And that is one piece of my entire system. You know, another part of the system is understanding this thing about features and benefits. What's a feature about what you do?
Never thought of it.
I know, she's so weird.
Not sure I wanted you on this podcast.
Yes, you do, because people are going to love you. This is fun. Well, this is this is the fun thing, you know, and we don't have to keep going down this road because I do teach all this. A feature, by the way, is what you do. A benefit is what it does for others. And one of the things that I've learned by being on Home Shopping is that you have to come up with these to keep talking. Most people will pick up an item and they run out of steam after a few sentences. I can take this and talk for 5 hours. I've been on TV for an entire hour doing this, which is like, wow, because I have this system in my head. So feature benefit. A feature of this is that it's pink. Okay. The benefit is your husband's not going to take it. A feature, right? It's like, I've never thought about it, right? But that's a sales point. A feature of this is that it fits in your hand. The benefit, it goes everywhere with you. A feature of it lays less than 1 pound. Benefit, I can stick it in my pocket. A feature of this is it pulls literally up to 24 pounds per pull. Benefit is in 3 minutes, you're breaking a sweat. I could go on and on. A feature of this is the handles are round. The benefit of that, you can put 2 fingers in. You can, if you've got arthritis, you can just wrap your hand around it. And. A feature is it doesn't have to be plugged in. Benefit is I don't need electricity to get it fit. Absolutely. So you can do that with your coaching. And when you learn to break down your business, you start to see, but Forbes, I have a coaching company. What's the feature of that? Well, the feature is that it's virtual. The benefit, you don't have to leave your house. The feature is I teach it. The benefit, years of experience. The feature is it goes for 6 weeks. Benefit, not a whole year. And I'm going to share with you just that nugget alone will increase your sales, will increase your engagement, will make you happier, healthier, and wealthier.
Wow. Now, guys, you know why I'm awake at 2 a.m. attending her masterclass or her inner circle, because it's at 8 p.m. Eastern, and that's my 2 a.m. And I'm awake. And confession, sometimes I have my camera off because I'm laying in bed.
Hey, you know what? We have a beautiful global audience, and half of them are either laying in bed, because it doesn't matter what time zone you're in. By the way, when I was traveling, I was in Dubai. I was teaching class at 4 a.m. You're like, this is terrible. I know. Well, I'll have to get up early. Let's schedule a class just for your family and friends, and we'll do it at a good time in the afternoon.
Whoa, I'm taking you up on that.
I love
I'm
to go in. I go into master classes all the time. You know, Omu, I love to blow people's minds. I
I
think
know.
I think it's part of my nature and part of where I've just loved being in life. Because I don't, you know, when we talk about disruptors, if you look that word up in the dictionary, I think there's my picture. And that comes, by the way, this is
I can
interesting.
relate that. I can actually imagine, yeah.
Well, but this comes from a life well led, a life of ups and downs, and the fact that I'm still here. Uh, it's not been easy. I grew up as a very ugly little girl. I had a broken nose. I had braces for 8 years. I talked like this for a couple of years. Didn't have a lot of friends growing up. And I had to create my own reality. You're not going to meet many people like me because you're not going to meet them. We don't talk, we don't go out much. And it's an interesting phenomenon that I looked at other people who have lots of friends. I hardly had any friends growing up. My best friend was my mother and my imaginary friend. And to this day, I still talk to myself all the time. I don't mind being alone. I traveled to Europe for 6 months on my own, by myself, didn't need anybody. I've never needed anybody, which has goods and bad. I'm not saying but so it's a different perspective. You know, if you talk to somebody who has no eyesight, they have a different perspective. If you talk to somebody who has a different disability, they see the world differently. And it's an interesting thing to converse with people who see the world differently, because it lets you understand that your beliefs, whatever they are not real. They're just your beliefs. Some of them limiting, some of them otherwise. But that's what magic does. It shatters the belief system. You can cut a girl in half? How does she do? Well, that's stupid. No, we don't really cut her in half. It's a trick. Why did you believe I was doing that in the first place? And if I could shatter a belief about one thing, could I shatter your belief about something else? A belief that you think that you weren't meant to play big, that you don't deserve success, that you're not this or you're not that. You know, it's what you believe. Talk to somebody else. They have the exact opposite belief. Who's right and who's wrong? Nobody. There's no right and wrong. It's your belief. My advice, though, everyone listening, is the beliefs that are not serving you, you should throw out like an old sweater. If you believe that you're a klutz, if you believe that you're lazy, if you believe that you're stupid, if you believe that you're not enough, because somebody told you that a long time ago, and you somewhere believed that. I hear people all the time, Omu. I did a stage thing. I brought a woman up and I said, hi. I said, hi. She's like, oh my God, I'm such an introvert. I'm so nervous. I can't believe it. I'm like, could you just stop talking? I don't know you. Why did you tell me all the things that are negative about you before I even met you?
Exactly.
I know why she did it, but I don't want you guys to suffer with that anymore. I coach a lot of men and women, and I think the biggest gift and the biggest thing I teach is confidence.
Yeah. How did you, for everyone that I've met lately, it just keeps dawning on me that we're all never like what we've been through. We never really look like what we've been through. And I'm wondering, how did you get to this point?
Love. 2 things that I do. I believe in the art of manifestation. I believe that if you can dream it and you can believe it, you can achieve it, whatever it is. That's a little easier said than done, because to dream big is challenging for many people. I've asked people to dream, and they give me very, very small dreams. I want to write a book. That's nice. I want to be a New York Times bestseller. Dream bigger. I want to get married, and he should be handsome, or he should just be funny. I wanted someone who looked like he walked off the cover of a romance novel. And I set out to prove that this is possible. And I'll tell you what, it is. I said to the universe, I want this and this. Now, not everything comes the way you want it, when you want it. It's not an instant recipe. But if you believe and you put in work and you challenge yourself, in fact, Omu, we call it Forbesing it in my world. What have you Forbesed lately? What have you manifested that no one else thought you could? When you were growing up, what did people think that you were going to become?
People thought I would be a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought I would ever be a speaker, trainer, or coach. Never. I never
Why?
thought I would work with.
Why?
So I was an introvert. I
How did you know? Wait, how
I
did you know? How did you know you were an introvert?
exactly. Good question.
You're not
But
one now. Did you outgrow it?
those were the beliefs I had.
Right.
And I just felt so I had a luxury event planning company. I did destination events. I was always in America, in the Caribbean. And then I joined the John Maxwell team as a founding member in 2011 because I wanted to, all in a quest to develop myself. And when people would say, oh, when are you going to start coaching commercially? I'm like, no, I need coaching. I'm not coaching. And but I knew somewhere that, I was stronger than that. And God bless my father's soul. He always pushed me. He's like, where did all this come from? I didn't raise a shy daughter. I didn't raise it, and he'll push me. And so I knew, and I went on the journey myself. And that's why it's actually one of my strong points, teaching
Do me a small
people
favor.
how.
One of my coachings. You've said it several times. Don't say it anymore. Don't say the word actually anymore. You know why? And for everyone listening, that word means that you don't believe what you're saying. No, you did it. And it gives away a little bit. So you are so precious, and I'm loving this story. Don't say that word anymore.
Thank you. Because Joseph stopped me from using the word but.
All right.
So
that word,
I
by the way, but also everyone listening, do you hear her smile and her energy? And one thing that you had that I had that is hard to get is the love of a parent, of someone who believes in you. I think
absolutely.
That makes all the difference.
Yes. So he pushed me, and I started, but I knew that I had it, and my name means Queen Mother. And
funny, so does mine. I love it.
I decided to leave like the queen that I am. Okay, so I'll just add Forbes to my name.
No, but I love your story. I even love that you know what your name means, guys. And I'm not joking. When I say, hi, my name is Forbes Riley, Forbes as in the magazine. Omu says, my name is Queen Mother. You go, oh, okay. I love that. Even if it didn't, I get it. Who's going to argue with her? Right?
But when I'm training, I always use the example. There's a saying in Nigeria, in the part of Nigeria I come from, that says that whatever name you give your dog is what people would call your dog, and that's what your dog would answer to. And what they're trying to say is, whatever you say to yourself, whatever name label you put on yourself is what you're going to answer to, and that's what other people are going to call you. So I keep saying to them, I said, if you look in the mirror and you say, I'm up to no good, then everybody thinks you're up to no good.
That's it. We are sisters under the skin, and you are where you are because you believed. Remember I said, dream it, believe it, and achieve it? It's that simple, or it's not that simple. So we're going back just real quick when I said I wanted someone about love. Many of us women choose interesting partners the first time. I hear the word narcissist a lot. I didn't really know what it meant until I married one. Just saying. I'm not there anymore. And then I decided to be single for a while because sometimes you have to learn who you are. And then when I said to myself, not only when you look in the mirror about who you are, but what do you want your life to look like? Look around your house. You manifested that. Look at your clothes. Look at your body. You manifested. You made that happen. So why can't you make something fantastic happen? I'm listening to how many times you're going to the States. I haven't gone to Africa but one time. I need to go more now. And I said to myself, I want to be loved. And here's how I want to be loved. I want someone who rolls over in the morning and says to me with mascara down my face and my hair and my breath smelling terrible, I love you. Because a partner in my past would roll over and say, "Ugh, what did a bear shit in your mouth?" every morning. And I started my day not feeling very good about myself. And I had to spend the entire day recovering my sense of self-esteem. And then there was another time later in the day where we'd be shot down again. And so partly the woman that you see is because I got shot down a lot. And I finally had to stand up and go, no, you get what you tolerate, girlfriend. And what do you want in your life? You want someone who thinks that you're precious and amazing. And then looks like he walked off the cover of a romance novel. And that's my man.
No. No.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, now there's an interesting little part to this story, because I'll tell you something. As beautiful as he is, last year, January 2022, he got hit on his motorcycle. And he lost everything. For 6 months, he sat in a wheelchair. For 6 months, he sat in a wheelchair during COVID. In June, he gets up and says, "Take a picture of me." I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, in 1 year, I'm going to go back and be Mr. Olympia." Okay. He built his muscle, his body back, the most determination I've ever seen in anybody. He goes on stage and he doesn't win because he broke his ankle so bad he'll never walk right. He comes back, and even though he looked like this is how he looked, he still didn't win.
Was this he did this in a year?
In a year. Now, he has his own program that he does. He builds muscle very differently than everyone else. This man, by the way, does no push-ups, no pull-ups, no sit-ups. That's a whole nother conversation. He didn't win the first one. He comes back, he wins this one, and he just went to Mr. Olympia, and he
won
got those. And that's what he looks like now. If you want to be a champion, act like a champion, train like a champion, eat like a champion, think like a champion. I live with a champion. And for the last 6 years of my life's been very different. I am 6 years since I've met him, and I live differently. I think differently. And at the end of the day, I'm just loved. And I have a place I'm also turning 63 this year. So it's not like it happened overnight. But I will tell you, if you architect it right, you can build anything.
Absolutely. This has been amazing. Amazing. I'm excited. I feel like tearing up. I feel like giving you a hug. I feel like squeezing you tight.
Good. You should. We will see each other soon. We will meet because we definitely need to meet. All right. So let's finish this up. Let's give some final words or ask me a couple more questions.
Okay. I want to know about the book. Yeah,
okay.
That book.
When
is it launching?
So another thing too is that I started to believe that I was a queen. That's why we have this together. So that is why the crown comes in.
Can't take the crown from me.
No. We can share the crown. Are you kidding me? There's enough for sisters to go around. Let me tell you, lionesses don't fight each other. They all gather around. They support each other. They fight for food. They raise their children, and then they sit around and watch their pretty men, whatever the pretty men do. So I am definitely a lioness who's locked arms with other women who are strong, who are supportive. If you win, I win. And also when you get to a certain age, I think maybe in your 20s, genetically, maybe we're supposed to kind of spar, you're trying to breed or whatever we're doing. But when you get a little older, no, you want to embrace your sisters a lot. You want to love on them, because I will tell you, no matter how beautiful you think someone is, they've been through some serious shit. That's what women deal with. I know that. I am one. I've been through it all. And I've been through some serious, you name it. And even to name it, or I've heard it. But I raised a boy for 12 years who was murdered. I have 2 beautiful children of mine. I know. He was a little darker than you, by the way. Yeah, his name was Dexter, and he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. By the way, the wrong place was walking from a haircut to church right outside his house. But gangbangers wanted to kill somebody wearing a blue shirt. And that's part of the society. That's why I believe in mentorship and love. And because without love, you do stupid shit like that. You know, one of my best friends, he was an Irishman who married an American who moved to Kenya. They opened the largest vineyard, Naivasha Vineyards by Lake Naivasha. And he had two beautiful children. They both went off to blonde hair, blue-eyed African Americans born in Africa. And they went for his 60th birthday out to the Masai Mara. A group of marauders came up, shot up the camp, shot two of the Americans they were with. Before they left and stole everything, they turned around and shot him in the back and killed him in front of his children. You know, that's somebody who didn't have the love of a father or the caring of people, because people who are loved and understand don't do that.
Yeah.
That is not necessarily a bad person, but it was a person who was raised in a bad world, in a bad environment, who was taught that human life means nothing. Those are the same people who go and kill rhinos and for their horn, or kill the most beautiful animal on this planet, an elephant. How could you ever hurt an elephant? Elephants don't hurt people unless you push them. And I've seen them. I've lived with them. It's inconceivable that anyone would do that. So then you go, why do they do that? Because we're not raising the right society. Because we are not choosing life over money. We're not choosing life over other things. And so, it's a funny thing. But yeah, we can both be queens. So this is not coming out for a little while. But if you guys want to get in touch with me and know all that I'm doing, just do my name, ForbesRiley.com. There's a free gift there. There's videos there. Come on a Sunday. Sundays are live with me on Zoom. I've been doing it every Sunday.
Interesting.
Every Sunday since COVID hit. I interact with people. And you know how much it costs to come play with me? $19.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I just want you to show up. Yeah. And here's the thing. Well, and here's the thing I want to leave you with. It's been lovely meeting you. We would never have met but for the grace of technology. You're on the other side of the freaking world, and it feels like I'm having lunch with you.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the crazy thing about that is this happened because of COVID. So for many people, COVID was horrible. I lost some friends. I lost a publisher. But
yeah, I did.
But pre-COVID, I couldn't get anyone on a Zoom call. Could you?
No.
Right.
I actually loved getting people on Zoom calls, and they were like, "No, you can't show up. We need you to show up." Everyone said you had to show up. So yeah, I think COVID, post-COVID and during COVID was actually my best time.
It was an interesting time to live through, different from all the other years I've ever had in my life. And my business happened because of COVID. My beautiful daughter, who was 17, she and her twin brother were finishing up high school in the house. 17-year-olds as seniors, you never see them. And they got to hang out with mom, and they couldn't leave the house. Ooh, really? And we started a coaching company. She said, "Mom, I want you to teach what you know." Now, and Omu, here's another interesting thing, and I would love to later talk about some of your coaching training. But for me, I didn't want to teach my secrets. Let me get very clear about this. I was one of the top female pitch people ever. And when I was about 42 years old, I went to my agent and I gave him a contract, clients that I'd gotten, and said, "Please negotiate this." It was one of the biggest contracts I'd ever gotten, $100,000. He comes back to me 2 days later. He says, "I have good news and bad news." I said, "Really?" He said, "The good news, they love you." I'm like, "Of course they do." The bad news, they're not going to hire you. They want to hire a younger, less expensive version of you. But the good news is they want you to teach her to pitch, so they'll pay you for that. And after I said, "Screw you, when pigs fly, I'll do that." Oh, did I say that? I was like, what? I left his office and I said, "I will never teach what I know to anybody. I'm really good at this. This is not a teachable thing." Some part of me thought I couldn't even teach it, but the other part said, "I'm not doing that." And for 20 some odd years, I had no desire to teach it. I did lots of television and fine. When my daughter said, "Mom, it's your legacy to teach what you know. You're really good at it, but you can teach this to other people. Let them be good." And for the last 2 years, that's what we've been doing. We have almost 18,000 students. And I feel very honored.
It's an amazing class.
We know the other thing, Omu, that that it's taken a lifetime to learn. I think it's very sad that life is not about you. Life is about who you help, who you touch, who you serve, who you uplift. And
It's not about, and that's a mistake a lot of people make.
Oh, it's more than a mistake. Nobody teaches you this for real. I just got this message and I live for this. And you guys need to understand, if you come train with me, this is liable to what happened. You're liable to get your dreams to come true. That's crazy, right? Well, this woman just wrote me. She's 77 years old. She was training with me. I teach some of my trainings live. She took one of my thing called Media Mastery. And if this will load, she's Chinese, 77. And just last night, here's what she wrote. It's precious. She was in my training. We did a thing, and she says here, and I love this. It's so precious. She says, last night was a blast. She got to pitch in my mastermind. I still have a hangover from my sleep after sleepless nights, figuring out how to do the homework from the resources I have, my brain and my heart, not knowing what to do and how to even start my computer, totally illiterate, living in the past with dream killers and gaslighters. I really needed you. You're turning a schizoid into a phoenix. I don't know if I should say that. I love Dr. Forbes. You are my God-sent guiding star. I was speechless last night, or else I was just blabbling. You are precious from the bottom of my heart. I'm still crying. I do not want to show that on camera because it doesn't look good. I know the tears are engaging, and I just want to thank you. You know, in my wildest dreams, who would have thought that a woman like that would say what she did to me? You know, I have a bunch of those, and it means the world.
That is living your best life.
It really is. So, and then amazing people like Omu from Nigeria asked me to talk to them on podcasts.
That's amazing. So we have to get ready for the pitching class that would be in Nigerian time.
Yes. Let's do that. You know, let's go live and do this. You know, I'm all about a world tour.
The universe loves speed, so we've spoken it and we're going to do it.
I think it's great. You are wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Forbes. Thanks. Hey, guys. So go on. I'm not giving you any websites. Just Google Forbes Riley.
No. Go to Forbes Riley. No. Go to ForbesRiley.com. ForbesRiley.com. Absolutely. You know, if you Google me, there'll be 5,000 things that will come up. Go to ForbesRiley.com.
Okay.
Find your free gifts from me.
Okay, then. Take care, guys.
You've been listening to Network Kingdom with Omu Obilor. Remember, if you cannot see where you're going, ask someone who has been there before.